Next story. I saw it on Twitter. It says, this is kind of old, October 9th. It says, I used a dating app to meet millionaires. I got to travel the world, get fancy gifts, and learn a lot from my relationships. Now, I didn't read too closely into what this woman did. I believe the dating app is Raya or Raya. That's very common. It's an app where women meet very successful men.
Hmm.
Like that was the app where this super hot girl matched with Ben Affleck and she thought it was fake for some reason. I don't know why, but she thought it was fake and she unmatched him and then he sent her a message and said, "Hey, why'd you unmatch me? I'm Ben Affleck." Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
Yeah, now that you say it, it does ring a bell. Yeah.
Okay. It's just like, dude, Ben Affleck. I mean, I know she was hot though. She was super hot. But still, I mean, why are you demeaning yourself like this? Just if she unmatched you, then just move on to the next hot girl, Ben Affleck. Surely you have plenty of options out there. But is this what it's come to? Like, is Ben Affleck simping for some? Wait, I'm searching for it right now. Hold on.
Looks like he's put on some pounds here.
Here we go. See this?
I see it, but I can't hear it.
Okay, you don't. They're showing it. Like you see this woman, right? She's
Yeah.
clearly a 10.
Is she?
Bro, I'm gonna put a picture on her and yeah, she is.
All right. Maybe a 10, but I'm not interested.
You're not interested in it? You're so picky, Jesus Christ. We'll get to that later. For the record, let's just say she's a 10, okay?
All right.
She's at least a 9, a solid 9.
Okay. Is her nose kind of big
No,
for a 9? No?
no, it's not.
Okay. I mean, I take your word for it. It just
And she's had a nose job, so she would have fixed that. So the story is this woman said she was on a dating app. I'm gonna guess it was Raya, okay? And she
or one of those other does it actually specify the dating site?
no, it doesn't. But
It could have been
I'm
one of
just
those sugar daddy sites or whatever.
it could have been one of those two.
Actually, wouldn't you need to? I don't know for this. I don't know anything about this Raya site, but don't you think you would need to pass some kind of minimal requirements in order to be
No,
on that
no,
site?
it's I think it's totally free market. Like you get no interest, you get no interest.
Really?
Don't quote me on this. I personally have never been on Raya, either as a guy or a girl, obviously. But it's not important what the site is, okay? It's not important.
Because I mean, wouldn't you be, if they allowed somebody, who's like this, I don't know, 5 or something, 6,
Let's call her a 6. She's
to
not fat, so let's give her 6.
to pollute the site? I mean, doesn't that just makes it less desirable for the
Um,
Chads? Right?
you know what?
It feels like there should be some kind of exclusivity or exclusivity.
Listen, let's do the research, especially since Raya might be a site you want to find somebody on someday.
No, no, no.
Don't give me that. Yeah, you
No,
would.
no, 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 no,
You
no.
wouldn't want to find a woman?
Remember?
Well, these
No,
women,
remember
yeah, they
I
specifically want a
tried.
successful man.
Yeah, I tried one of these sites before. It just the
Which
kind of
one?
the
Which one?
I don't remember. I don't
Was
remember.
it a
It was just
sugar
like it
baby
was.
site?
Yeah, yeah. It was a 1 day experiment. I went on, and I was pretty shocked by what I saw, and
Oh
I
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
said
You
never
went on to
going back.
you went on to seeking, right? I think you went on to seeking, right?
I don't remember the exact site, but
I remember. What was shocking to you though? All the girls were attractive.
it was just basically what people would just blatantly ask for without any
Ah, right. Well,
you know, basically pay for me, to go through college and I'll thank you. Like that's pretty
well,
that's the deal there.
it is a sugar baby and sugar daddy site. That is sort of the deal you're getting into. But it's good. You went there, you found out it's not for you. But that
Yeah.
is what it is. I mean,
And the
they don't
people that were
pretend.
asking, for you to pay their college tuition, they
Oh, they
were
weren't even that
not
good.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were not even like nines or
Right,
tens
right,
or
right. Well, that's the
yeah.
sexual marketplace of today. We'll talk about that plenty later. No, we're going to talk about that now, in fact. We're going to talk about that right now. So, if this link is going to be here, this woman who says, I use a dating app to meet millionaires. I got to travel the world. I got fancy gifts and learn a lot from my relationships. So she got fancy purses. She was flown out all around the world. And, you know, we're going to supply the link. You're going to see her face. She's a six. Would you agree she's a six?
Around a six, yeah. Uh, uh,
I know you want to give her a five, but remember that most people
no,
are fat.
you have
Fat.
a much better
I'm
child.
definitely more
Yeah,
objective with these
yeah,
things. Yes.
yeah.
So considering that most people are fat and she's not fat, she seems to be in fairly good shape. Let's at least give her a six because that's fair. But as far as her face goes, her mouth is too big, her nose is too big, her eyes are too far set apart. Um, her hair is not anything special. She doesn't appear to, you know, do a lot of makeup or present herself in a very nice manner. She just seems like an average girl. Like if this were 1960, this would be a perfectly average girl. Nothing wrong with her. Nothing wrong with her. Like if you had to marry her or if you wanted to marry her, it'd be fine. It'd be awesome. That'd be great. I would say she could make a fine wife. But uh she's being flown around by millionaires?
Yeah. Do you want to read or give some examples of what she got?
Yeah, let's
Because
get into it.
I remember there
Her
was
name is
something.
Amber Lucas. She said she was tired of dating men who took advantage of her generosity. Whatever the fuck that means. Was she giving people money? I mean, literally, I think she just means she was giving them her time. But how is that you being generous when logically speaking, like let's say you go on a date with a guy, right? And you're the way you view that is I was being generous with my time. Well, but logically speaking, wasn't he being generous with the exact same amount of time? He was giving you his time, and yet you're the generous one. Got it.
Do they elaborate on that? I don't remember.
She did not, I don't think.
Okay.
Says she told Insider that she dated up by raising her expectations and meeting successful men, which obviously means going on the right apps. This is her story as told to Jane Ridley. Okay. So I'll just read it for you. She says, I spent a lot of last year reevaluating my life. The most important thing I had to change was the type of guys I dated. Most of them were emotionally immature and financially irresponsible, meaning they're just poor. They could have been rich and financially irresponsible, but she wouldn't know the difference, of course. I'd bail them out. Okay, whatever, sure. One guy
Okay.
wanted money because he couldn't make rent. She was probably dating hot guys who were poor. He couldn't afford it because he'd spent his whole salary on weed. Okay. Another guy left his rusty old car at my home for 3 weeks. He couldn't afford the maintenance. It was leaking oil. He used my AAA insurance to have it towed.
Okay. So I mean, this is what she meant by people were taking advantage for generosity, right?
Yeah, and here's another thing. I don't necessarily believe any of this either. She says, I wanted to meet better men. Those experiences made me want to meet more stable men, someone mature who can make interesting conversation and approach relationships with a generous mindset. A man well, with a handle on his life. I wanted to quote unquote date up. A friend told me about dating website Seeking arrangements. There you go.
Hmm.
It specializes in matching. We all know what Seeking arrangement does. There's tiers of membership. Top tier costs $275 a month. Ooh, okay. It costs her money. Does it cost her money? I
I
guess.
can't imagine.
Why would they charge women? Okay, anyway. I wanted to meet men who shared my interest in travel and exploring new things. I'm in the process of establishing my own business. Bullshit. I also thought it would be good to be among people who knew how to negotiate and reach targets. Okay. I talked to a few guys on the site. They were mostly in their 50s. Well, yeah, they have money. I met one, probably in his 50s, who lived in my home city of San Francisco. No wonder she's ugly. He was super kind and intelligent. He brought his dog to the date, which I thought was sweet. It's not sweet. It's weird. It's weird as fuck. But we didn't really see each other again. Okay.
That is weird. That is very.
Yeah. Then in the fall, I dated an international businessman. He was 53, about 14 years older than me. Hold on. This woman's like 39.
What does it say in the
That's my
head?
math. My math is correct. This woman's
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
39.
39. Yeah.
She's on a
Didn't it?
sugar baby site.
That's,
This doesn't
I
make sense to me.
for some
What's
reason I
sugar?
thought she was 35. It didn't say her age anywhere.
Well, she just said this man was 53, about 14
Yeah.
years older than
Okay.
her.
I thought somewhere else in the article it might have said her
That
age,
means
but
she's 39, probably
yeah.
40, because, people generally go down.
Yeah.
We've been on several dates when I told him that I was going on a trip to France. Do you want to visit me? I asked. He said, absolutely. I would like to come and asked when I was leaving. I said I hadn't bought any tickets yet. Will you let me do that for you? Oh my God, what a simp. I would love to support you in your travel to France. It
Yeah,
took
okay.
my breath away. Like, lady, it's only like $1,500 for your ticket. That's not, I can afford to buy you a ticket for $1,500. It doesn't make me rich. It took my breath away. In my prior relationships, I had to be independent, save up my money, and plan every last detail of a trip. Here was someone who saw that I had a passion for France and wanted to support me. I thought about it for a bit, then I said, okay, yes, thank you. He hovered over my shoulder when I booked the business class flights. He said, I don't want to remove the power, so I'll give you the credit card and we can do it together. What a simp. What is this shit? He said, I
I,
don't want to
I
remove the power, so I'll give you the credit card and we can do it together.
I don't even understand what that means.
I think that meant he gave her his credit card and she typed in the numbers so she felt like she bought the tickets.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter who punches in the numbers, woman. It what matters is who pays the goddamn balance, right?
Yeah.
The moment the price came up, he said, "Don't get sticker shock." I thought these tickets could pay off my car. What kind of car do you drive? Like $2,000 can pay off your car? Okay, whatever.
I don't know, but business class to France, it might be like 5K each or something, right?
Oh, business class. Okay, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
that's more like 5K. Oh no, yeah, I couldn't afford to pay this bitch's 5K tickets. No, I backtrack. I'm not that rich. I lived in Paris for 3 months. He came to visit. Usually when he was on a business trip in Europe, we'd visit places like the vineyards of the Loire Valley. Probably had sex as well. That's not said. Christmas and New Year's were beautiful. We stayed at a chateau in Bordeaux with a private chef and a massage therapist. Otherwise, we had the whole place to ourselves. He took me to London, bought me my first Chanel bag. It cost about $11,000. Yeah, that's about. Are we at a point? He said. Oh wait. He asked, "Are we at a point in a relationship when it's okay for me to buy you a bag?" What kind of simp is this? This is like an imaginary simp or whatever. I don't know who to ask. He told me to take my time choosing the right one. I was tempted to buy the Christian Dior, but decided on Chanel. Chanel's more expensive. I'm so glad that I'm dating you. How many men would just march off and buy any bag without thinking twice? Well, men with money. She says we split up because our work got in the way, or because he started paying for another bitch. We had some great talks about business. He gave me advice and refined my business idea. Surely a shitty idea. In April, we came to a fork in the road. We broke up. It was right person, wrong time. Okay. We had a lot going on in our work. We parted as friends. Okay. Oh my God, look at this picture of her. She looks even worse. I dated a couple of more guys on Seeking. They were smart and interesting, but I connected with a man who lived in the Bay Area too. He was in his mid 50s.
Okay, yeah, this is, maybe too blunt, but that just doesn't seem like
Look at her. She has
the
like,
appropriate face, that would warrant buying an 11K
no, no.
bag. I guess if you're
She's
like
not
a,
lying either.
yeah, I
She's
mean,
wearing the bag in this picture, by the way. I recognize it. It's
I
a
can't
Chanel
tell.
classic flap.
Huh.
It's a Chanel classic flap. She's wearing it right there. I don't think she's lying. She's not
I mean,
attractive enough to
yeah,
warrant this.
this guy, I mean, I don't know
You
how do
could
you
have
explain this?
sex with like 11 different women who are hotter than her for the amount of money you pay for that bag.
But yeah, how do you explain? Because okay, $11,000 bag is a lot of money, right? So this guy is probably pretty rich, most
Yeah,
likely.
yeah.
And you would think you know, with those kind of resources that he would be able to do
But the thing
better.
is, like, that people are. Let me finish this story and then we'll talk about it.
All
He
right.
asked if I'd like to join him on a business trip to Seattle. We stayed at a five-star hotel. I did my own thing when he was in meetings. He gave me his credit card. Wow, she sounds like a hooker. And told me to book stuff for us to do when he finished working. I asked ahead of time if I could buy a bag. He said yes, so I purchased a Celine bag that cost a few $1,000s. Oh, okay, that's reasonable. Only a few thousand. He also paid for me to fly first class to see my family. I think first class is a waste of money, but not on an international flight. You get to your destination looking alive, not half dead. So obviously she took it, right? That was expensive. He's a self-made millionaire who didn't always have it easy. He was raised in a single parent. Who cares about all this crap? He pulled himself up by the bootstraps, which you didn't, obviously. We're no longer dating, but I learned some useful things from him. Right. Like his credit card number. I found that patience is not a common trait among high flyers. So now she's talking about the negative stuff about these men, right?
Hmm.
Uh, they're super successful. She said, as for the sex over the past year or so, I have never had such good sex. It's been communicative and respectful with no exceptions. Like, no, that I don't believe. It's like, I would think that these guys just sort of want what they want, you know? I don't think they're going to be like communicating to you. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I've never been in
No, I think they would because they've. I mean, that is consistent with the simping, don't you think?
okay, sure, maybe. I've never been in the bedroom with a simp and his sugar baby. So I won't say.
I mean, they're all about pleasing the other person. It seems
Right.
like.
So she just ends with there's a slight drawback with these businessmen. Patience is not their strongest suit. They're used to people saying yes to everything they want and when they want it. I learned that it's okay to say no if they can't handle that. They're not the person I'm trying to partner with. You're not trying to, she trying to partner with anybody. She's just trying to extract as much value as she can from each person. And judging by this face, she's extracted way more value than she should have gotten already. What the hell? This is insane.
It is insane.
This would be like if one of my buddies, and keep in mind, I don't know any really good looking buddies, okay? None of my friends are like good looking. They could be a model or an actor or something like that, right? One of them just came and said, yeah, I want to date a supermodel. Oh, do you? Yeah. I'm going to put my name on a website, and it's a website that supermodels go to, and hopefully they'll pick me. And then I just said, yeah, good luck with that, dude. And then they came to me the next goddamn day and they said they're dating a supermodel. That's how it feels like to me. It feels so backwards and so it feels wrong. It feels wrong. Now, what doesn't feel wrong is the idea that there can be transactional relationships. Sure, understood. It's a tale as old as time. Sure. Women have been dating men, going with men for resources for a long time. Nothing weird about that. But I mean, you just got to look at this woman, dude. Does this woman even arouse you? I'm betting the answer is no, right?
No,
So why, if she
definitely
doesn't
not.
arouse me, a person who's definitely not worth millions and millions of dollars and who can buy her a Chanel bag, okay? Or book her first class. Why is she doing it for some guy who can? I don't get it.
Yeah, honestly, I'm trying to think what those guys were thinking. Maybe they got, I don't know, maybe they were genuinely looking for something beyond the physical and found it with this woman. I don't know.
But here's the thing. I would say yes. I would say, and here's the thing. I don't think that, oh, just because you're a rich guy, like some people say things like, you know how Jeff Bezos is dating a 50-year-old woman, right? And clearly
I don't actually.
he is. He's dating a 50-year-old woman. She used to be hot, but she's not. I mean, she's
Okay.
hot for a 50-year-old woman, but she's,
Wait, is it the Latino?
yeah.
Okay. I didn't know she was 50.
Oh, she might be like 48, but she's essentially 50. Okay.
Okay.
You might say, well, why can't, clearly the guy is, when you're worth like $150 billion, he could date supermodels, he can date whatever in a strictly transactional relationship.
And I mean, he could definitely have a lot of things going on, on the side that the
He
public doesn't
could,
know about. Yeah.
but since we don't know that for a fact, we can't assume that that's happening.
Hmm.
Um, but of course, I mean, he's not stupid. If Jeff Bezos was dating a 10 out of 10, 21-year-old supermodel like, that Leonardo DiCaprio would date, he knows what the deal is. He knows that it's a purely transactional relationship, right? And maybe that's not what he wants. Maybe he wants a person who's more on his level and will like him for some of the qualities he brings, except for his massive amount of wealth, right?
It's
And
really
that's
hard to discount that.
it is, but I can't blame him for wanting it, right?
Yeah.
If he wants that, I can understand him wanting that. And if you want that, clearly you wouldn't just date the super hot 21-year-old 10 out of 10 because then, it's so obvious that she's just dating you for your money.
You'd have to go to like, I don't know, some indigenous tribe in in Africa or something to find somebody there. Otherwise,
But even those people probably are dating you for transactional reasons. They're not attracted to you because they have anything in common with you and they really connect with you. They don't even speak the same language as you.
I'm just
So
saying, I have a really hard time just imagining that there's a person that could,
could
just,
separate him from his money?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I do as well. But we can't fault him for trying, right?
Yeah. And it's not just his money. I mean, it's his influence, his power.
Right.
Yeah.
We can't fault him for maybe trying to get that, right?
Yeah.
And trying to seek something that's more authentic. So go ahead, Jeff Bezos, seek it. Um, so I could understand if maybe it.
Actually, don't
Now
you think
let me finish my point.
don't you think he probably had that though? His ex-wife.
Yeah, true. He had an ex-wife, and he married her when he was not rich and
Yeah.
super
Or
rich.
that was my assumption.
Right. Well, I don't know. I don't want to. Let's stop using him as an example then.
All right.
Let's just do theoretical, okay? I can understand you're super rich and you just want somebody who has a more authentic connection. So you're just not going to date necessarily the hottest person you can date. Sure, fine. But the men who found this woman, they found her on seeking arrangement. It's not like they bumped into her at the grocery store, right? If you maybe bumped into this woman at the grocery store and you had like some connection and she didn't know that you're rich, I could see, oh, okay, I have a connection with this woman. I'm attracted to her. She's attractive enough. Um, I want to see where it goes. That I could understand. But these guys straight up met her on seeking arrangement, and the first interaction they had was buying her tickets and purses. So it was immediately a transactional relationship. So what I'm saying is, if it's going to be a transactional relationship, why not just like get the hottest woman possible? What is wrong with you guys? Right?
Hmm. Yeah, this isn't the one that I would have picked.
Her hair is like frizzy and unkempt. Her nose is, oh God. I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's just
I mean, who's doing more damage to the dating market? These rich, successful men, or
Chads.
or no, not the Chads. I was gonna say, or the normies who are willing to settle for, twos and threes.
I would have to say normies just because they're greater in number.
Yeah, exactly. It's more of them.
Right. So like every single time a guy who's like a six or oh my God. Yeah. I so I got to tell you this. I already told you this in chat, but recently I was having dinner at this nice restaurant. It's one of the restaurants people go to because it's very picturesque. So all the basic bitches like to take Instagram photos there. In any case, it's a good date place to have dinner, right? And in walks in a couple. They're clearly on. You could tell from sort of the awkward sexual tension that they're like on a first or second date. Okay,
Hmm. Hmm.
it's white
Well,
male, huh?
the guy was fairly dressed, right? Like
Oh
he
yeah,
was
he
wearing
was
at
wearing a
least a
sports
sport
coat.
coat.
He
Yeah,
was wearing a sports coat and a collared shirt. He was pretty well dressed.
yeah.
Not as
Which I
well
mean
dressed
that.
as I was at the time, but who can be, right?
Yeah, it contributes to the that stiff feeling, I think, that you were talking about.
Right. But he had a sports coat, he had a collared shirt, and he looked pretty well dressed. And he was a good looking guy. He looked kind of like Charlie Hunnam. I don't know if you guys know. Look him up. He's got blonde hair and facial hair, but he's a good looking guy. He wasn't super tall. He was only about 5'10", but 5'10's not short. I guess it's average,
It's above average for sure, right?
just a little bit above average, but let's just call it average. The woman though, she was fat. And when I say fat, I mean 5'5", 155, 160 pounds. It was enough that her body looked more rectangular than hourglass, the way it should look. It was just kind of a block, right? And yet, despite it being a block, she insisted on wearing these high-waisted jeans and a crop top that created a bare midriff. But the bare midriff was only about 2 inches, 2 or 3 inches, maybe two. And yet, despite it being only about 2 inches, I could see the fat of her abdomen poking out when she walked. And She wasn't even that attractive in the face. She had like a large nose, which needed a nose job for sure. I was shocked. I was shocked that this man, and he seemed very interested in her. He seemed genuinely interested in her. It bothered me. It's seriously bothered me. Have you seen mismatched couples like this in public recently?
No, I actually haven't, but I don't go out much. But when I do go out, I haven't noticed any terribly mismatched couples like this.
Anyway, this is the state of the sexual marketplace today. So, what can I say? I can't fix it. It's just where it is. An average as fuck woman is living the good life on simps. That is the bottom line to this story. And if you are an average woman or slightly above average, and you're willing to do this,
Yeah, what makes it
this
even
option is in front
yeah.
of you.
The thing that makes it even crazier is that she's basically 40, right? Like that's
Yeah, that's so weird. Oh my God. I do not understand. In, I had guests in my house, and I once had like a 45-year-old woman say, "Oh yeah, I was thinking about being a sugar baby." And I just thought in my mind, what the fuck? Do you not like break down that word, sugar baby? Does that not imply that the person should be young? And then I said something, and here's my mistake. In 2022, never say it, the thing that you're thinking in front of actual company.
Why not? No,
Here's all I said. Here's all I said. I said,
how is this company even worth having? I don't know.
well, I just like people coming over, so I don't want to alienate everyone.
Uh-huh.
Here's all I said. I said, well, I was a little drunk at the time, so it probably was a little bit more blunt than it should have been. But I just said, "Are you sure you're young enough for that?" And she said, "What are you saying? I'm old?" And then I immediately knew, oh shit, I shouldn't have said that.
Should say
So then,
yeah. For a
I
sugar
said,
baby site, yes, you are.
I listen. I didn't back down. I didn't backtrack entirely. What I did say was, aren't the girls on this site typically like 20 something? That's what I said,
Uh-huh.
which is fair because that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I didn't say, yeah, you're too fucking old, but I did kind of say, yeah, you're too fucking old. And she
And
said,
then what?
no, blah, blah, blah. I could be a huge success on this site or whatever. And I was just thinking in my mind, Jesus Christ, the delusion of this woman. How do I know this
So
woman again? How did
so
she get into
given
my house?
yeah, given the woman that we just looked at, I mean, could she be a success? Could this one be a success?
Oh, the woman that was in my house is still quite a bit uglier than this one. Okay?
Oh.
Um, so I want to say no, but here's the thing. I wouldn't have thought that this woman could be a success. So clearly, I don't know everything there is to know about how this all works and how successful you could be on such a site. So I have to admit that maybe I'm the one who doesn't have an accurate sense of it.
Maybe you should follow up on this next time you see.
Maybe, maybe that 45-year-old woman could be a sugar baby on this site and somebody would give
Yeah.
her something.
Yeah.
Who knows? I mean, it's insane. It's insane. It's just insane what the sexual. Why? I don't understand. Do guys have too much money or are guys so desperate and like constantly simping? I don't understand. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. But it's just one of these tip of the iceberg things where you see a little bit of it and there's a bunch of iceberg beneath that's menacing and bad that it just indicates is there. The fact that this ugly woman, not ugly, this very, very average woman can get millionaires to fly her around and buy her expensive bags and all this. It's just really indicative of just where we're at. And where we're at is in a bad spot. So that's all I got to say about that.
I guess, I mean, if you were worth like, I don't know, 20 million plus, what's a 10K Chanel bag, right? It's like,
If I were worth 20 million plus, I'd not date a woman like this. Okay? I guarantee you that.